congratulations on your new solo music. Was there a specific moment when you realized I want to do a solo project and do this kind of vibe and style of music?
Um, you know, it was something that I had kind of always had floating around in my mind, kind of just swirling around a little bit. And I didn't really know when exactly I was going to do it, you know. Um, and pre-pandemic, you know, I started working on this album before the pandemic happened. And, you know, it was kind of like, oh, good gosh, I have my alarm set. Hold on. This is hilarious. Hilarious. Once again, real life strike.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I, I had, you know, I'd always kind of thought, you know, I wanted to do something, you know, something, and by the way of that, didn't really know exactly how it was going to come about, how I was going to do it, what songs that, you know, I wanted, you know, to have in the project, what I even wanted it to sound like, honestly. So, you know, I think it was I think it was good that I, you know, really let the band kind of develop and really just kind of develop its own ethos and just its own kind of thing. You know, it's very much a well-oiled machine and it's just going. So now, you know, it's like, you know, fast forward, you know, a few years down the road, here I am. And the band was going to take some time off, which that happened a lot sooner than we expected. And then I was going to kind of do my thing and band was going to come back and do this whole thing. So now we're in this interesting kind of period here, but it's good. You know, as far as like choosing the songs and the sounds, you know, it's a solo album, so I wanted to, you know, make sure that I was kind of delving into some more personal, you know, avenues, you know, some things that were kind of more directly related to me. And not that I don't do that with my other art, but this one, you know, there's another level of that, honestly, I think. Especially kind of delving into the music video for Shaken, you know. You know, I'm sure you might have some questions on that, but yeah. I just want to show a little bit of a more vulnerable side of myself. And with this music, I really wanted it to be all about just the fun and the joy that music can bring to your heart and to your soul, to your mind, to your body. Because I realized early on how affected my mood was and just my overall well-being was just by what type of music I started my day with. It's kind of wild. It's really crazy. It's like if I start my day with something that has, you know, this like, you know, like if I start my day with Charlie Parker as opposed to starting my day with, you know, the Arctic Monkeys, it's almost a completely different day. And it's wild the let's call it a filter. Let's call it a filter that it can kind of put on your day. And I realized that my life was honestly being very affected by the music that I was making and the stuff that I was putting out and this and that. And you know, I can be a dark dude sometimes. You know, I can also be very light and just very jovial, and that's just, you know, once again, real life. You know, we're all very different beings. We all have different things going on, and life interacts in ways that, you know. So, but the one thing that I realized, and it's kind of funny that it took me like this 12, 15 years to really kind of grasp this concept, was like that it can actually affect you physically, and it can, you know, be something that helps you get to another area and grow in another way. So that's really what this album was all about. And it was, you know, from the recording process to the songs that were chosen to just the vibe in the room when the songs were being made. So
that's amazing. That. And I mean, so far you've released these two incredible singles, and I know you're super involved with it from the songwriting, production, and the visuals. So your music
Yep.
video is absolutely just stunning. How did that
Thank
concept come
you.
about and how involved were you in it?
So, it kind of started from, the song, it started from, the foundation of the song, you know, and I started thinking because, um, honestly, I got to say, one of the things that I kind of like to keep as a thread throughout my music and the musical process and kind of like how people ingest the art is for people to be able to kind of add their own story, their own meaning. Like, what does this song mean to me? Um, so I was slightly reluctant to kind of like really delve into and create a music video that, is like, this is exactly what this is about, because I'll just say that it's not exactly what it's about. It's one interpretation, of what the song could be. Um, that being said, there's a lot of truth in there. So I don't want to detract from that meaning because it holds a lot of weight for sure for me and a lot of people, I think. I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy that the amount of, DMs I've got and just, emails and, this and that. So it's been interesting on that front, but I really want people to attach their own meaning to it. But with this one, it was important for me to show a more vulnerable side of myself, because I think a lot of times people might, they might see me as like this really like strong character who kind of has it together, and in a lot of ways I do, but in a lot of ways I'm very much, not having it together. You know what I'm saying? And just winging it, a lot of the times. And there's a lot of beauty in that. And there's also, sometimes that comes with, a good deal of anxiety, and because you want it to be good, you want things to happen. But it's like, I know that riding that edge is really where the good stuff comes, because that's where a lot of people are at. You know what I'm saying? And if you kind of are there, that's the place where the connection kind of gets, let's say, kind of welded and soldered. So soldered. That's the word I'm looking for. Um, so sorry, I'm getting a little long-winded here, but the main thing about the video, and it actually started from, I was thinking I wanted to have it just be this, this situation where this kid's coming home from school and he gets bullied, something happens, and then he gets into the shower, and that becomes his like, um, you know, escape, basically. Because we all have our escape, whatever it may be. For me, honestly, as a young kid, it was, kind of singing or just letting this energy out, letting this frustration out in other ways, whether it was, wrecking myself on a half pipe, or on some curb or whatever, or letting it all out in the shower. So it was kind of it kind of merged, it morphed from like going to be a full on crazy shower scene, with this kid just like going wild, jumping up and down in the, just insane. And we kind of realized there were many limitations there. I'm sure you could probably think of a few. So it was, like, all right, we definitely want this to be a thing, but we really need to kind of expand on this. And that was really when we started to think about, how can we kind of, push more of this narrative, because this is very much a thing. And so me and my manager Adam kind of thought about that, came up with a little bit. And I woke up the next day, and he had kind of written most of the storyboard out. And then we give it to the director, and they're just like, oh my God. So they came with some more ideas. We kind of spitballed back and forth, and voila. I mean, it was like, it was really, it was a team effort. It was a team effort all across the board.
That's so great. It turned out wonderful.
And
And
you dig it. I love that.
oh my gosh, for sure.
That.
And the other thing, I mean, I love how you said that fans like get their own interpretations of songs because I feel like that's really important. And with Promised Land, I had no idea that you wrote that prior to the pandemic and racial injustice is happening. So did you have to do any rewrites or reproduction prior to releasing it, since you did release it during these times?
You know, I did. Yeah, we didn't touch it because honestly, I mean, the thing is, it's not. You know, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. You know, and that's the issue, and that's really the issue, and that's one of the reasons. Um, I mean, shoot, like I mean, black and brown people have been singing songs of their own like this for 400 years. So it's like I just want to be a bit of a you know, a bit of a conduit, you know, for, you know, the voice of change, the voice of justice, you know, the voice of, you know, the the real truth, you know, not just what someone thinks their truth is. I want to get to what's the real truth, what's the human truth, and the fact is equality. That's the truth, and whatever we need to do to get to there, to make sure every man, woman, child, every race, religion, creed, whatever is, you know, seen on an equal plane. And, you know, that's really like, that's like baseline. To me, I feel like that's just baseline. Like, okay, we're all here. We're all living together. We all have this thing called Earth we must take care of. And not to mention ourselves, we got to take care of ourselves and each other. Yeah, I think it's like, it's wild, you know? It's wild, and that you know I can kind of start, but yeah, to answer the song, yeah, it was definitely, it was written pre the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, but like I said, this stuff has been going on, so it could have been written at any point.
Yeah. And thank you so much for using your social media presence and just your status, asking your fans to vote and being
Absolutely.
proactive, and also your philanthropy too, which super admire. I hope more artists follow in your footsteps, like with Rev Causes. That is incredible. So, what made you decide? How do you even form your voice to try to reach everyone with these causes that are super important to you, and what causes are super important to you?
So, you know, we really wanted to kind of cast a wide net with Rev Causes. And so we kind of, you know, put our heads together and we handpicked the organizations that we wanted to kind of be the the first ones to kind of receive, you know, the benefit. I mean, because they're doing some amazing things. There's this organization that we work with Rev Causes. We've worked with them before Rev Causes. It's Songs for Kids, and the guy Josh there, I mean, he just creates these amazing experiences for these children who have, you know, terminal illness, lifelong illness, you know, that just kind of hinders their, you know, social ability, um, their mental ability, just any kind of thing that can kind of incapacitate you to kind of really jump in the stream of, you know, normal everyday life. You know, it's just there's something going on there. So he really creates this like just super, just amazingly inclusive atmosphere. And then he brings in musicians, you know, from all over the place to, you know, sing and, you know, play some songs for the kids, play songs with the kids. The last time we were there, um, the kids actually learned one of our songs and we played it with them. So that was just like such a beautiful moment, man. Like to see the sheer, just like pure joy, just like seriously, if joy had a color, it would have filled the entire room and just have been like exploding out of every single person's chest. It was like insane. So yeah, I don't know. He really creates some of these most memorable, amazing moments for these kids, and they need help. You know what I'm saying? So we're happy to you know, help, you know, facilitate, some change there, and help, get them the funds that they need, in whatever way we can.